The question before us now is, can Christians divorce, and if so, under what circumstances? Again, the question I think is already assuming that the answer is yes, Christians can divorce. But let me back up a little bit and just kind of talk about marriage itself. Marriage was instituted by God for three reasons. First of all, for companionship. God said it's not good for a man to be alone in Genesis 2. And so as a result of his concern for Adam and for Eve, he created companions for each other. The second reason for marriage is for procreation. Again, in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, God created male and female so that we can increase and multiply on this earth. And the third reason for marriage is that God says that there is that sinful quality in us that because of the fall of sin. Marriage is really a protection against unchastity. God recognized the powerful gift of sexuality that he had given to Adam and Eve, and so in order that it won't be misused, he said the proper place for that is within marriage. And so God wants marriage to be a lifelong union. It doesn't continue, however, into heaven. Matthew 22:30 is very clear. We live this life only up until, we live this life of marriage only until we die. After that, there is no marriage after that. Death is the termination of this, and so after a person dies, a spouse has the option of remarrying. Now back to our question before us is divorce. Really, divorce for any reason involves some kind of sin, whether it's the sin of one of the partners or even the actual act of getting a divorce. Because God established marriage, and he says in Malachi 2, I hate divorce. Again, it's not what God plans. Jesus stated very clearly that the divorce was only allowed for specific reasons, and that really, he says, because of the hardness of a person's heart. That concept, hardness of heart, I might be able to explain a little bit. It's like a callus. If you rub part of your body over and over again, it can develop a callus. And so in a marriage also, as things happen in a marriage, we may get hardened and our emotions no longer are able to feel the love, the care, even the forgiveness there because of that hardness of heart. And there at that point then, Jesus reminds us, because of that then God allows divorce in the situation for the person that has been hurt in an adulterous situation. Jesus states Moses permitted divorce only for marital unfaithfulness. When one partner commits adultery, it's only the innocent partner who may seek a divorce. And even there, again, the guilty party is not free to remarry and cannot divorce, which is a very interesting situation as Jesus lays it out. The innocent party may desire to remain in the marriage, and at that point then both are to remain married because, again, God wants that marriage to stick together. So adultery or unfaithfulness would be one reason for getting a divorce. Although Jesus never spoke of the second issue, St. Paul suggests, or at least seems to infer, that something we call malicious desertion, at least that's what the church has used the term, in some situations then when an unbeliever leaves a marriage partner. It may be such a situation. One of the situations I had in one of my parishes was a wife, after about 7 or 8 years, actually a little longer than that, just walked off and left with her lover and just never came back. The innocent party, the husband, came to me and said, she left me and my 2 children, can I get a divorce? And at that point, the church has said yes. Paul says God wants us to live in peace. If that unbelieving spouse wants to leave, let them leave in peace. However, Paul also says, if you can stay married, even to an unbeliever, then stay. Because Paul says, who knows, you might be able to save that unbeliever by your faithfulness to God. So again, divorce certainly isn't what God plans. Are there circumstances in which it's acceptable? Only in the fact that if one person leaves or breaks the marriage bond, the innocent person may get a divorce.